welcome. So today, as you can see, I have a special guest, Emiliano, and he is representing Be a Leader Foundation. And so we are going to talk about what he's going to talk about today, how it fits those 7 dimensions of wellness that I've been sharing with you. And just on Wednesday, I uploaded a video on occupational wellness. So this definitely ties into that, but it also ties into the intellectual wellness. And so again, there's 7 dimensions, and once you guys hear Emiliano's conversation and when he has to share, you'll understand why it's so important to focus on all these little aspects of our lives to achieve wellness. And so, yeah, go ahead and let us know what you do, Emiliano, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you so much. It's an honor and a pleasure to be with you. My name is Emiliano.espino. I am an improvement coach with the Be a Leader Foundation. I help schools improve their processes for college going in low-income and communities of color in Phoenix, and help their students go to their college, because we know that college can lead to a higher income as well as a better life. So I do work a lot with low income and students of color, and trying to get them to know that college is something that can lead them to a better life.
And how long have you been working for Be a Leader?
I've done 2 stints. I did about a year with them as an AmeriCorps member, and I was working directly with students to give them services on filling out financial aid applications, college applications, stuff like that. Now I'm back as a improvement coach, or also formerly known as a coordinator. And now I work with more of the administration, the counseling departments, and trying to help them improve their processes.
So basically, he's the success story of Be a Leader. So there's a lot to be said about that, because we can start one place and not realize that we're gaining all these life skills, and then it could project us and move us forward to other things. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think it's important that for any parents or any youth that's watching this, which I hope is the main goal, that they feel encouraged that we can start somewhere, even when we're not getting paid for it, but that in itself is going to give us those life skills that we need, those occupational skills that we need, or the education that we need to propel us forward. So what can you tell us about what you do with Be a Leader?
Yeah, so we think in general a lot of things that we need to do is at a systems level to really improve people's lives, and it starts with education, right? And a lot of students don't have the access or the knowledge of what education is and how it can project, and it can help them project into be a better life. And so what we do is work with counselors and work with teachers and administration to really start adjusting the way they talk about college to students. Okay. We talk to them about what can college do for them, and how can that any sort of post-secondary education. We have shifted from saying college to post-secondary now, because post-secondary encompasses all of trade schools, community college, 4-year technical programs, because any sort of education can lead to higher income, leads to better knowledge of resources that can impact their health.
And how young, or when do you guys start in high school?
So my program, we're kind of like the last line of college. We go into the schools directly to work with the general population, but in general, the Be a Leader Foundation, we have clubs and workshops for kids as young as 7th grade. And we serve them from 7th grade, and if they continue with us, we can serve them to the end of their college.
It's so important to kind of start ingraining or promoting or encouraging, whatever word you guys want to use, at such a young age, because it starts, getting that little wheel moving where it's like, well, do I want to do that? And it's also important, and I'm glad you mentioned that, it doesn't necessarily have to be that post-secondary education. It could be a trade school, it could be some vocational school, it could be a 2-year college. A lot of people sometimes may feel a little afraid, that, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to go to a 4-year college, or even that, I'm going to have to go to, or get a master's or get a PhD to do something, and that's not always necessary. I'm not saying not to do it, but it's you guys help students kind of understand and have them kind of go into the zone that they feel most comfortable with, right?
And definitely there's studies out there, and there's economists that say, a high school degree can get you about $12 an hour, 12 to 15. Even a trade school degree can get you up to maybe $20, $25 an hour.
Wow.
And that can impact your health in a lot of ways.
Of course, absolutely. Knowledge is power in many ways, right? Tying it back to these 7 dimensions of wellness, of course, when we have that occupational wellness, or we have the intellectual wellness, not only is it helping us, the individual personally, it's impacting your family, and then when the family is impacted, it impacts the community. And so when the community becomes healthier, I mean, that's a better outlook in life, for everyone. And so it's very important that we see it as one little step is huge, right?
Yeah, it starts, I don't know about how you grew up in
Very
college. You didn't, your parents didn't talk to you about college, really. And my parents didn't really talk to us about college until my oldest sibling, and that was almost up to 15 years ago. Is when they barely learned about college, and now all 4 of our older siblings, we all went to college, and we have a little sister going to college now. But as they saw how much our lives were getting better,
right?
And we were thinking for ourselves and realizing that we can do better things, and not have to stick at one job. Now we're learning, and they really started pushing for us.
That's great. So I don't have as many siblings. I do have an older brother, and no, he didn't go to college. He was more of the trade school, and he's really, really smart. So sometimes it can be frustrating with someone that's so smart not wanting to go to college, right? But my parents definitely were always supportive. One, because they didn't have that opportunity,
Exactly.
right? And so they wanted, I'm a product of parents that are immigrants, and so that was the main reason for my parents, coming to a different country to give us a better, opportunity in life. And education was one of those. And so otherwise, I don't think that I would have had that opportunity. So I'm very grateful that my parents, in their not so informed way, that they were able to encourage and had always been. I'm very, very lucky and fortunate that they were always very supportive in that, because they saw the benefit and the importance exactly as
and it's
to
like,
what they're gonna do.
immigrant or not,
Yeah.
all parents want the best for their
Of
children.
course.
And sometimes it's like, even those who are not immigrant, they don't understand college yet, and they weren't exposed to it.
Yep.
And so knowledge is power, as we say. And so once we get that knowledge of what college is, it sparks this idea of like, oh, I can, as they say, move up in life and move around and not have to stick to where we're at. So
Exactly. So, and that's very important too, because a lot of people think that sometimes you have to kind of stay in a job, or even when as a student we go into college and we're thinking this is the major I want, but then later discover it's not all what I wanted it to be, so I'm going to shift gears right into a different major. And guess what? That's okay. There are always people and resources that will guide you. There's advisors, there's guidance counselors, and again, that starts now with you guys in like you said, 7th grade and up in high school. Talk to these people. These are the resources that you want to use, which is why I invited Emiliano, because the resources are out there. We just have to do the work in finding them. They're not going to fall, just out of the sky. But there's plenty of resources out there for everyone.
And know that I don't ever force anybody to go to college. If you want to go to your traditional 4-year or traditional 2-year, then that's your option. But you just have to support in whatever they want to do. Exactly.
But the important thing is that you inform. You're there to inform.
Exactly.
Right?
And it just leads as well to your wellness and your happiness. Happiness and wellness is the ultimate goal in life, and education can definitely be part of that.
Absolutely. Emiliano, is there any tips that you would want to leave?
Start early. Definitely start asking questions. Be happy and know that things are going to be okay. Education can unlock a lot of things, and so I just tell students, just be mindful that there's a lot more opportunity than you know of at the moment, and there's people who can guide you and support you in whatever position that you want to go to.
And what would you tell parents?
Give that support. Support. One thing is one of our biggest influences in life is our parents. Since we were born, and they guide us a lot, and having a parental support definitely is like one of the major things that you need in life.
And I'm sure you run into this, but what about, these situations or cases where maybe it's only one parent, a single parent, or no parent?
Single parent, as much as you can. Just being able to talk to the student, being able to, be there for them. We definitely see a lot of that, and it's really just, we understand, and you're doing your best for sure, and the student's gonna be grateful for what you do. And for no parents, students, you are your main support, but look for your other support, look for family who love you, and look for friends, and look for mentors for sure.
Absolutely. Know that there is always someone in your corner. Even when you think that there isn't, or that you don't have any support, there is always someone. There's always a teacher, there is always some administrator, an advisor, a counselor. Surround yourself with positive people. And sometimes that may not come easy. Things are changing, generations are very different. So I'm not going to speak on that, because for me it was very different than now. And my personality is way different than a lot of people's personalities. I'm very positive, and I'm rarely affected by what people say, but that's not always the case for everyone. But know, I guess the one thing I want to leave you guys with is know that there is always someone in your corner, even when you think there isn't. More than likely, the person that you think isn't is probably the person in your corner. And so just be open to the idea that there is someone that does care for you, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
Exactly.
Right?
And I just want to say, I'm in your corner. You're probably watching this, but I'm in your corner. And we'll support anybody and give them their guidance for sure.
Thank you so much, Emiliano, for being here and sharing this great resource that's available. Is this local or is this national?
So we're a local based organization, but since financial aid is such a federal and a national thing, we are able to help anybody across the United States fill out financial aid applications.
Perfect. And I will link the Be a Leader Foundation information on the description of this video. Thanks so much for watching.